Just scrolling down, seeing what else other questions you guys have. Let me take this one. Great stream. If one of their goals is to destabilize any and all institutions, what can we do in our day-to-day lives to combat them? The very first thing that everyone can do, and you're not going to like this answer, but I'm going to tell you the answer. The very first thing that everyone here can do is learn as much as you can about the left. And this is particularly true for people who've been watching me for like 6 months or less. And the reason I say 6 months is we've been doing a lot of ICE coverage lately, so that my content hasn't been expansive in the last several months as it was like previously. Usually we focus on a wide variety of leftist content. We've just been doing a lot of anti-ICE stuff lately because that's what's kind of like the thing to cover. But like, if you haven't been watching my content for 6 months, you are a student, okay? You need to unlearn everything that you think you know, because most of what has been taught to you by our right-wing media is just wrong. It's wrong, or it's an outdated belief, or it's based on the philosophy that's 200 years old. But the ideology of the left has evolved and expanded and mutated significantly since those papers were written. So it's like, you can't go back and read Marx and Engels and say, this is what the left believes today. What the left believes today may have been built somewhat off of Marx and Engels and all the other dead philosophers, I call them, but it's not the same thing. It's mutated, it's expanded, they've evolved. There are other thinkers who have iterated on that work, and their ideology has only become more leftist and more dystopian. No, we don't lie. And you like to fucking lie, and I don't fucking like it. Karlyn will never give any details for action. No, that's not true. That's not true. The details for action are, you have to shut the fuck up and learn before you go and do anything. You know why you have to shut the fuck up and learn before you go do anything? And you like to do stuff like this, and you're about to get put in a 5-minute timeout so that you cannot speak again on my channel, because this is not the first time I've seen you do. Karlyn isn't going to tell us what to do except for watch her content. Literally go fuck yourself. If you don't know enough to sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up and learn about your enemy, you are not smart enough to be on my channel. Do you fucking understand? When you become fluent in the language of the left, you will know what to do. But do you know why you losers keep fucking losing? Do you know why Tom Homan is losing colossally in Minnesota? Do you know why the entire Trump administration is losing colossally in Minnesota? Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know who their enemy is. They don't know what the goal is. They don't know what the language is. They have no fucking clue. And neither do you if you say, Karlyn's not going to give us any details except watch her content. You are not smart enough to be on my channel, motherfucker. Do you understand? You're getting put in a timeout now because I'm so sick of this shit from you. I've given you enough fucking warnings. That is what happens, guys, when you try to be a disruptive conservative prick in my chat, just so you know. So, to go back to answer the question more nicely before I was rudely interrupted, if you do not understand your enemy, there is no tactic that you can implement that will be effective. The reason that Trump is getting his ass kicked by the far left up and down the playing field, the reason that Tom Homan should be hanging his head in fucking shame, is because they do not understand the enemy that they're fighting. So therefore, until you sit your ass down and actually learn what you're dealing with, there's no tactic I can give you. I have seen this happen over and over and over again. I've been doing this a long fucking time. I have seen conservatives celebrate that we get elected to school board seats. And then guess what happens? They end up voting in favor of leftist policies because they didn't bother to understand the enemy they were fighting. I've seen conservatives say, we banned critical race theory in schools. Guess what? None of the anti-CRT bills actually banned the teaching of critical race theory. Critical race theory was still taught in every single state that had an anti-CRT bill. You want to know why? Conservatives didn't understand the problem that they were attempting to solve, and the bills didn't actually ban the teaching of critical race theory. It banned discrimination against white people. If you understand anything about the left at all, you know that whiteness is not about skin color, it's about capitalism. So all of the same ideas that were taught before the anti-CRT bills were taught after the anti-CRT bills. But conservatives went around high-fiving going, we banned CRT. Every single person who said they banned CRT was lying to you, by the way. You know those executive orders that Trump wrote banning the teaching of gender ideology in schools at the beginning of his administration? They haven't done shit. Do you know how many school teachers I have on video since Trump posted those executive orders that are overtly talking about we're going to teach whatever the fuck we want and you can't do anything about it? Do you know why Trump is just completely a fucking failure in terms of banning any of the gender shit in schools? Because he didn't understand the enemy that he was fighting. And I'm so fucking sick of hearing it from conservatives. You just think you know everything. You just think we don't know everything. You can't, you just tell us to learn on your content and we want things to do. The reason I don't give conservative retards things to do is that until they literally shut the fuck up, unlearn every retard thing they've ever been taught by their own media, until they do that and actually learn what the enemy is and what they're doing and what their language is and all this stuff, there is not shit that they can do that's going to stop the left. They're just going to keep doing, you know what conservatives are doing, guys? They're cleaning the house by taking a mess from one room and putting it in another fucking room. Has anyone ever done this? You sit down to it's like a Saturday, you're like, I'm going to clean up the house. What you end up doing is you take a mess from one room and you move the mess to another fucking room. Have you actually cleaned anything? No, you just moved the mess from one location to another, but you feel like you did something. That is exactly what conservatives are doing when it comes to the far left. They are making it look like they're doing something. They're high-fiving themselves and saying, we beat the left. Woke is dead. Woke is dead. Do you guys remember after Trump got elected and inaugurated, the entire right was like, we won. The left lost. The Democratic Party's over. Woke is dead. We won. There's no more of this DEI shit. How's that going, guys? How's that going? Because I can look at the fucking federal government and see DEI. I can look at every school district in America and see DEI. I can look at the videos we watch on the fucking internet where these people are literally calling to overthrow the government, taking over major American cities, defeating the Trump administration at absolutely every fucking step. The midterms are going to be a goddamn bloodbath. You understand this, right? The midterms are going to be a goddamn bloodbath. And the Democratic Party is going to win. Not that they've done anything to deserve to win, but Republicans have handled this entire last year and a half so fucking badly, they don't stand a chance at all. And guess what? The far left is controlling the narrative that is going to drive the entire fucking election cycle. Everything they did in Minneapolis worked. Everything they did, every single thing the Trump administration has done to fight the left in Minneapolis has failed colossally. The left won, the Trump administration lost. And what that means is that every single strategy they used in Minneapolis is now getting exported nationally. And so you think that this is the last of it because Tom Homan said, we won, guys. Bullshit. You're going to see this popping up in every major city in the country. It is only emboldened the left. You literally heard them say it on the presentation today. So, if you are unwilling to sit down, shut the fuck up, and learn about the enemy that you are fighting, there is nothing that you can do that will be effective. So if you want to keep spinning your wheels and keep moving the mess from one room into another room, you go right ahead. But I am not going to coddle those feelings on this channel. I've had it with this attitude on the right. It is fucking ridiculous. No longer afraid to say the quiet part out loud frequently and in great detail because they're winning. They've never been afraid to. Dorfus, you're relatively new. They have always said this out loud. It's always been this overt. And again, you're relatively new to my content and you're really learning a lot very quickly. And I see that and I want to acknowledge that. But you have to understand that just because you've started hearing it, it doesn't mean this is the first they've started to say it. I've literally been filming these people for years. And they've said the same thing for years. The problem is if you don't know where to look for the content, you don't see it. The problem is that your influencers have lied to you and have obfuscated it. I've been sending videos to conservative influencers that literally are exactly like the ones we watch today, literally for years. Every single one. I have sent videos to Glenn Beck. I've sent videos to the Daily Wire. I've sent videos to the Daily Caller. I've sent videos to the Washington Free League. I've sent videos to the general email address of The Blaze. I've sent videos to Steven Crowder. I've sent videos to literally every fucking influencer I could think of to try to get this information out for fucking, like, 4 fucking years now. The information has always been there. The media, the conservative influencers ignored it. They didn't listen. So the reason you're just finding out about this is because no one was listening when they were saying all this stuff for years and years and years and years. And we tried and we failed, but thankfully people are waking up now. Cynthia in with the 20. Thank you. Thank you. Lao Su, there is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent. Yeah. Yeah. This is why, guys, this is why it's so incredibly dangerous for conservatives to say, the left is stupid. The left is mentally ill. The left are just paid protesters. Every single time the right calls the left paid protesters, they are dismissing their enemy. Every single time the right calls the left paid protesters or says they're stupid or lazy or they don't have jobs or they don't even know what they're protesting, which is all bullshit. Every single time the right does this, they allow the left to operate completely unopposed. That is why we're in the situation that we're in, guys. The right is allowing the left to operate completely unopposed. So the left can do whatever the fuck they want. The right just goes, they're paid protesters. They're funded by Soros. Look at all their signs. Well, they're all mentally ill. They're just all lazy. By the way, do they seem lazy to you? Because they seem highly organized to me. And then lazy people don't operate like this. Every single time conservatives do this, they dismiss the enemy, and the enemy just goes on doing what they're doing with no opposition. And that is why I yell and scream at conservatives, because they need to learn to stop doing this shit. And if they don't, we are so fucked. If we don't wake up more people, like I'm talking like right fucking now, we are so fucked. If the conservative right still keeps perpetuating and hanging on to this fucking narrative, they're all paid protesters funded by Soros. You heard them say in the presentation how they're funded. They flat out said, we are non-hierarchical. There is no one funding source. We are decentralized. This is from mutual aid. They said it in the presentation. The left tells you how they're funded. No one fucking listens.